stuff. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't see it saying it.
Why
There
don't you
it
keep
goes.
going and stop
Okay.
talking?
I'm telling you, it's just one of those days. Technology is not my friend this morning.
Is it ever?
Sometimes. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Aces 53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. Sorry, we're delayed getting on here. I was having technical difficulties.
Shocking.
I had a little max headroom video thing going on, and so I had to reboot the computer, reboot the router.
How do you tell you're almost a boomer? Max headroom.
Yeah, max headroom. Well, that's the point. Somebody was just talking the other day. They were talking about when you go and you speak at events, you mention something from their childhood for nostalgia's sake. But that's the problem is now with all these different audiences in, like I've got one, and I said, you look down at the Brady Bunch. I'm like, that's not going to last long for everybody else.
Not for a lot of people. I didn't even watch that when I was a kid on reruns.
No, but everybody knows what it looks like in the beginning with all their faces everywhere. You know what I mean?
You would think.
Yeah, but as the younger generation comes out, I'm like, I'm gonna figure out what else can I replace that with.
Well, that's just like with. I'm sorry, I'm trying to give it a couple more things. I have one more. And, I had a client who I said some stuff about, about bank account and certain things, and she's like, "What is that? Like what do you mean that the check? What do you mean the earnest money deposit has cleared my account?
Balancing your checkbook? What?
No, they don't even get into that part.
Yeah.
But no, I just things that I was like, oh man, and I snickered because I was like, damn, different generations and stuff they didn't have to deal with, and it's just totally. And that's the same thing you're going to deal with everything you deal with now.
Yep.
So,
well, I mean, you look a few years ago, everything like send that to my fax. Somebody asked me like a year ago, well, can you fax that to me? I'm like, no,
it's 2026.
Exactly.
Actually, so with me, I deal with reverse mortgages and I deal with certain things. So I do have an e-fax in case that is what they want to do. So it used to be with us also with CPAs. Yeah. They'd only want to fax the stuff. Now they all have the actual email accounts and different things where they can send the protected stuff. But that was for the longest time. It was the only safest way to get something from one place to the other place.
Yeah. So. That and the Pony Express.
Well, that wasn't safe at all. Those weren't safe at all. Those got ran over by everybody and got stolen. Money got stolen, everything.
I saw an interesting thing this morning. Matter of fact, it just popped back up, so I'll read it for a second. Gemini app has a new avatar feature, that allows users to create an avatar using their own face, voice, blah, blah, blah. And it just means, and they're saying, hey, you need to go in. If you don't want to use it, turn it off starting July 16th. So I guess starting today.
So an avatar, what do you mean by that?
It just says Gemini, you can have an avatar that will use your own face, voice, safely and securely.
So you can talk to people as yourself I
guess.
Yeah, it's something. And again, like I said the other day, I'm going back to humans answering their phones because people want that. I don't care what you say.
Well, did you see, we didn't talk about this on Tuesday, but there was that big meta release that came out that telling you go in and turn off where people can't steal your likeness and use it for their own reasons. Did you see that one?
No.
So Meta did a release last week where it basically said there's a setting in there under your post of whether or not you want to allow that other people can use your picture, your name, your face, and it's basically giving up your digital rights. And so all these cybersecurity people who post all the time were putting on there why to go and turn that setting off, because it would basically allow me to go to your page and say, I want to steal that from Ed.
So this is on Facebook?
On Meta or Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, Instagram.
Yep. So you have to go in, I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But yeah, I mean, and people were freaking out about it because it was basically giving away your entire rights.
Well, then, so it's not like the Stitch or the things you used to do on TikTok where
it's not collaborating on a reel or anything. No, it's saying that I can go and take your likeness and I can use it as my content.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. So anyway, it's thankfully there's people who read through the terms and conditions and security settings. And so there's a few people.
That's all they do.
I think they're overly paranoid, but I keep them on my feed so I can see which ones am I worried about. There's always been safety things. It's kind of like you can go back to the movie Home Alone. It's like, don't tell the mailman, everybody, that you're going to be gone. Have somebody pick up your mail, because that's how people would handle things,
Or go to the post office and put a stop on your mail.
Yes. Yeah. Well, now we were talking about this the other night when I lived in a house versus a townhome. And I was in, transitional-ish neighborhood. I mean, it was a really nice older craftsman, all that kind of stuff. And But when I would get into Ubers and there was nobody gonna be home, I pretend to be on my phone. I'd say like, "Oh yeah, no, it's great. You got the alarms, okay, guns, okay, we're good." Because you don't know who the Uber driver could be tipping off to stuff. Yeah.
So you watch too many movies where the valets take the cars and
I used to work with law enforcement. You hear the crazy stories of what people don't think of. And, that's obviously I'm not a female speaker, but there's a lot of female speakers who won't post when they're actually live at events. They wait and post pictures when they're home in case they have a stalker.
I could see that. I mean,
Yeah.
you must have watched Bosch. Did you ever watch Bosch? The series?
No, I never watched Bosch.
Yeah, they had one of those things, same thing, where they'd find the people out and then follow them home afterwards. From the So all that stuff's been in movies. The reason it's in movies is because it's happened to somebody, and so just be careful with whatever you do. And that's why I never tell people when I'm on vacation, and I don't post that I'm on vacation, because first of all, I just don't like posting. So second, it's just not. I don't want people to know I'm gone.
Yep.
That's the one way for people to come and steal your stuff.
That's exactly it. So that's what people talk about. Don't post till after you're back. But now it's even scarier depending on what you watch. Of people are saying like, you can take anybody's picture and throw it into AI and say, hey, where was this picture taken? And they're saying like, don't post pictures of your kids. So I've already had that rule before where, I blur out her face, stuff like that. But somebody can throw the background and go, oh, where's that taken? And they can figure out, oh, it's parked by your house. Crazy stuff that's out there.
Yeah, because they can. I mean, everything. I mean, whatever. So if you watch some of the older shows or different things, how they said, okay, well, we're going to be able. Where's that trees at? Where's this at? And they find all this information when they're trying to find stuff.
Mhm.
That's all real. It can
Right.
be happening. You can find out anything these days. Anything.
You absolutely can. And that's.
And you can connect all these. So I'm doing it for this app I'm creating, and I'm not going to get in the whole thing, but it's one part. It finds certain things, and then it finds the owner.
Mhm.
And then if it doesn't have any information on the owner at the title information, right, then like who has it with the address, whatever, it goes and gets into the other stuff where you all the different other databases that it can connect them all and give you who that person is, so you can send something to them. And it's just pretty amazing what you can do now.
Well, that's everything that's available can be used for good or evil, right? And that's the challenge with it all. It's there's so many amazing things that are out there, and then there's scary things at the same time. I use my meta glasses when I speak on stage so I can take pictures and videos. But that whole idea of how they hack them, and you can basically stalk somebody who's standing right in front of you, and it pops up everything on your glasses. We're not that far away from that. I also saw that's kind of fun is instead of having to wear that whole Apple contraption on your face, right? Now they've got glasses you put on that you just bring a keyboard and you have like the Tony Stark looking thing with the screens going everywhere.
Yeah, what you mean within the glasses itself?
Yep.
Oh.
So they showed people working on the plane where you just bring down your tray and then they're sitting there moving things. So I'm sure you look like a crazy person to everybody else on the plane, but it's all the virtual screens you can have, and it's just a pair of sunglasses. So it's going to be interesting to see where it is going forward.
Well, that's like the things they showed where they have the no screen and it projects up into the air. And then, someday everything they've thought of in the movies has come from something they know is out there.
Well,
like the aircrafts that crashed from UFOs.
Well, that's why the first flip phone was called the StarTAC, was after Star Trek, because they wanted to create the phone that looked like the tricorder thing that they would open on Star Trek. So yeah.
Well, it doesn't make that noise though.
Yep. It doesn't. I'm sure you can probably have a setting for it. It's going to be, speaking of phones, this is off subject, but on subject. This is the 20-year anniversary of iPhone. And so there's rumors that it's that there's, depending on what website you look at or whatever, some people think it's going to be one of those phones like I think Android has, where it flips open. It's almost like a tablet.
I'm waiting to buy. Mine's dying. It's been a couple of years. Yeah.
Well, September, right? We're right around the corner. Because this will be the 20-year anniversary of the iPhone. So I've been holding off too. I have a 16, I think, and I was waiting to buy until the new one comes out, which I already have a Rockport case for the new one. And I'm like, oh man, I need to send that back because I'm going to wait and get the next generation. Then you got to wait for iPhone cases to come out and all that. But it'll be interesting. On a totally side note, but
you're sure talking on you right there.
Yeah.
You figured out a lot coffee this morning?
I have not. My sleep schedule, I think I told you, I was up the other day from 8 at night till 4 in the morning doing a training class. Then I finally went to bed at 5:30
because
in the
the
morning.
training was done in what, Tokyo or someplace?
Hong Kong, yeah.
Hong Kong. Okay.
And then they had to test the fire alarms in the townhome I'm in at 9 a.m. the next day. So I got like 3 hours of sleep, then I got 2 hours of sleep. I tried last night. I went to bed at 10, woke up wide awake at 1 a.m. So then I worked from 1 to 3:30, then went back to sleep again. So yeah, my already partially functioning brain is less functional today. But this is related. So I saw where Apple is suing Anthropic, or are they suing? They're suing either ChatGPT or Claude, right? Because whichever one is on the iPhone, they're accusing them of taking away, because OpenAI, it was OpenAI, I guess is going to come out with a phone of their own, and they're saying, well, yeah, you put your software on our phones, learned how it all worked, and they hired ex-Apple people, I guess, to work there. So there's this whole big lawsuit going on about their phone.
Well, I'm sure they're going to try to fight everything because that's their whole business. I mean,
Right.
and you were talking about phones, and I just got my new MacBook Pro 5, 5 M5 Pro, and I've been using it. Wow, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Than my other one from 2019.
It's funny how that works, right? Like,
well, and I was waiting, so I'm still waiting for the little mini things to come out with the newer chips, because they're back. And in this one, they told me it was going to take a month for me to get it got him in like a week.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
well, I feel like
because mine was custom, I had to put more memory and more this. So
yeah. What was I going to say? I think they're having to tell people that, it's a month because there is back orders on so many different things, but then, under promise, over deliver versus the opposite.
Right. Well, I mean, so for you, you should go through the business side of Apple.
I do.
I can't, because I'm a vet. I get a discount.
I
get 10% off as a vet.
I think if you start a business, you get about 10%.
No, I looked, I had them price
right
under the business side, and then I priced under mine. I was $500 cheaper.
I got you. You should go become a student, because then you get a discount.
I already got a discount. You don't get double discounts. But I'm just saying but the business stuff is it's faster. They get it faster than the other side does. That's why I went to them first. And he was like, no, we don't offer that. You'd have to go the other side. I'm like, that's okay. I'd rather save $500. So what are you looking at?
So you got that for, I'm trying to, I put do not disturb, but all my messages are still coming in. So I'm turning it off and back on again. I keep wanting to go get a new laptop, but I'm like, I love the slide thing, and they don't have them on the new ones anymore. That's a feature they got rid of. I love it. I know some people didn't. I use it on a regular basis, especially like PowerPoints, stuff like that. But the newer ones don't have it. So I will have to upgrade at some point, but I will miss that feature when I do.
Yeah. So they wanted me to trade in, and they were only going to give me $350 for my 2019. Well, my 2019 is all new inside, because it had a problem. So I sent it, and they sent it back, and they replaced this, and sent it back and replaced this. Yeah. And there's nothing. And I'm like, so I use it as an extra. And first I was like, I'll use it for traveling, but I can't. I need this thing because of all the stuff I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, our first world problems we have.
Well, I almost signed up for Nuno's class because he had another one this week, but I couldn't do it with the training class and everything else I had. And then next week I've got a training class that's all day Monday and then all day Wednesday. So there's all these little things I like to sign up for.
There's so many people from that people putting out classes on the same stuff.
Well, it's funny, we went to almost a year ago, Growth Hacking Live, and almost everybody that was there has a class on how they're the AI expert. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a few of them that were on stages and did stuff, I would tell those expert like Nuno. But there's the other ones that are part of the whole group that are now putting out stuff together and stuff. You know how that all works.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah. So
yeah,
because they have people know who they are, and now they're like, okay, well, now we're going to feed off the same community.
Yeah.
Go get your own.
Well, that's the funny thing is it's all very incestuous with things. What I've started to see is, and while we're talking about that, is people are starting to grow hater accounts, which is they're going out and attacking what are people saying, because we're back to that. We're in a trust recession. There's a lot of people who are good marketers. They don't fulfill. You and I've talked about this on the show before. You invested in somebody that they said they were going to do all these things they couldn't fulfill. You were able to get your money back. But there are different people out there just saying that they can do all these things, and then they turn out they can't do it. So what I'm starting to see is There are people putting out accounts to try and hold these gurus and people accountable. And man, there's people just calling people out left and right on social media now. And it's one of those things of, it's like, is it done for negative reasons or is it done to protect other people? Can't quite figure that out yet. But I do think there needs to be some accountability, because there's people out there that are selling things that they've never done. Like, we've talked about this before. I know somebody who's got I'll get you on all these big stages and everything else, and they've never been paid to be on a stage ever. They make their money by teaching training of things they've never done.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. So, did you know OpenAI filed Friday, July 10th in federal court, claimed a trade secret theft of contract. Apple says OpenAI took its intellectual property. That's what you're talking about, consumer hardware, blah, blah, blah. But then there's also a 41-page complaint. Apple alleges OpenAI hardware chief Tang Tan, formerly Apple's VP of product design, and Chang Li, a former Apple engineer, electrical engineer, concluded to steal information. They started emailing them stuff details about the Apple suppliers before leaving, used internal Apple code names and interviewing candidates, and worked at Apple to dig up more.
Yeah.
They told candidates to bring their actual parts, including batteries and logic boards. Damn, these guys were working it. Yeah. Well, so I think they have a deal there.
They're working on it. But yeah, that's what they said is I guess supposedly they were giving people in their interview, and this is just what I read, so I'm not involved in it, but one of the accusations was that OpenAI was telling people how to bypass Apple security protocols to download stuff to bring to them after the interview before they came to go work for them. Now, is that true? Who knows?
That's what they're saying Tan and that other guy was doing.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty devious.
Or person. I don't know if they're guys or persons, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I've seen the mortgage industry, that's was huge, and people are suing each other because they take loans from one place to the other when they bring them all in, and then the company was like, no, that was our product. We paid for that lead to come in. That is our lead, and you cannot steal it. You cannot contact them. Yeah. But people do, and then they go after them. And then in our industry, like 4 years ago, when it was really good, 5 years ago, they were paying these major bonuses for loan officers to come to the different companies, come on over, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then then they didn't produce. And now they're going back at them for those bonuses, trying to claw them back. Yeah. So it's the same. That's why I don't get into this stuff. So
yeah. Well, same. I was did cigars with some guys last night, and I didn't know this. One of them's an attorney, and he said there are people who put up and pay for all the billboards, and then they just give all the cases to all these other firms, and they get a percentage. So they're more like a marketing lead company than anything else. And I guess too many attorneys' offices did that in Dallas, so it's kind of illegal. But what it all comes back down to is what we've talked about numerous times, and that is it's about branding and marketing, right? So people see the big billboards and then they go, okay, I want to go with that person. Then that person farms out to somebody else. And several of the trainings we've sat in on, that's where everyone in AI is going, is how can I use AI to get myself out there more? How can I use it to streamline my business? But now to your point, we're starting to see the inverse of that. And that is, how are we making sure we don't lose who we are through all this AI automation of everything? So yeah, you can have, and Joe is crushing it right now. He's in Paris. Yeah, he's in Paris, and I can say it because he's posting about it everywhere. But his social media content is going out pretty regularly. And he creamed me in LinkedIn the other week. We usually have a competition. We're close to each other. Now he's got an audience of 10,000. Mine's 3,000. But we compare like how many views and things have he got. And since he started using, he went in, he did a 3-day Claude class with Jonathan Mast and set up so many things. And he's sitting over there in France, enjoying, the countryside with his wife, and his posts are going out and he's killing it. He's getting views, likes, all kinds of stuff. It just goes to show you what is possible today. But he still also does his own videos and things so people know what's him, not just AI him.
Gotcha.
So back to branding and everything else. Oh, God, there's Joe. Speaking of, see, look, he's over there. Even he's sitting in a product
already at 3K views. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, there you go. See, he's gonna. I know he's gonna crush me because I posted.
Don't read that first comment.
Oh, I know. Let's
say the right word. Say the right word, people.
Yeah, but he went in and he automated. He sat and showed me, and I was gonna have him on while you were gone, but he was getting ready to go on this trip, so we didn't do it. you got to see, he's got this whole master control center he's got up, and he's got like a CEO type thing that talks to his other agents, and we'll have to bring him on, have him show you what he did. It's pretty impressive. And, you know, he left the automotive industry, what, a month ago, like 6 weeks ago, something like that. And he was like, okay, well, it's time to get my business going again. And he dove in, like full dive into everything AI, Claude, you know, and he's just crushing it with everything.
So what is he teaching now? Is he still staying in his industry, or is he doing it to? Okay.
Yeah, no, he's first recreating his entire brand. You know,
no, but I'm just wondering who is he still using his? Hi, Joe. We're talking about you.
Yeah. There you go.
Chief of a staff of 33 AI agents. Yes.
Yeah. So a chief of staff with that all come back and talk to him. And I forget what he said. Gene is, I think, his chief of staff. But it's really impressive what he's got set up. And it's all these ones that go back and run a task, and they run it back past Gene for approval. And so, yeah, it's doing his social media, his LinkedIn, you name it. But to answer your question, he's still going to stay in training in automotive, but his stuff is universal to sales. It just so happens that's one of his main niches is in the automotive industry.
Because that is what Nuno and them are teaching now, how to create those agents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so that, I mean, I've been playing with those things forever. I added them into my mortgage company to handle all the stuff with when people upload their loan documents and all the other stuff that they uploaded, to run everything for me. And then I only have to step in when there's an issue.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of having this stuff, is so that you don't have to hire more people to do what you want to do. You can have these other people handling it, you know, AI agents, which is nobody. And that way you can grow and become a large company and not have to have 1,000 people work for you.
Right. And it's what we talked about. Who was the first one that did the $1 billion company with just him and his brother?
I don't know. You found that one.
Yeah. I can't remember who the guy is, but we're starting to see more and more of that. It's kind of the point. I did get on the Ignite call yesterday for the first time in a while, and looking over directories and new web pages and stuff they've made. I need to dive back into that while I've got time remaining on it. But right now, I've just been flashcards and the book. So
you should be doing nothing but flashcards and the book.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I just had it on in the background, but Jim sent the first version of the book to get printed so we can see, does it look right on all the pages. So I don't know that I'll have that one ready for next 2 weeks from now, when I'm in San Diego. I won't get a copy of the book till the 21st or the 26th. So, and the event's on the 30th. So until I can see it and say, is it right or is it wrong, we'll figure it out.
I'm adding them to ChatGPT tomorrow when I get back. I built 3 agents and some automation during the World Cup match 2 nights ago on my phone. Aren't you Mr. Wonderful?
He just, he's fully in. So, you know, he's one of those ADD, hyper-focused. Yeah.
So my problem is I've actually had to be out of that for a couple of weeks. You know, I told you I took a week off to be on vacation, and I feel like now it's like totally different. It's like, oh, everything's changed in a week and a few days.
Well, it's what do you use, what do you get into or not? What else was I going to say? Going back to the World Cup, it's going to be very interesting to see, because so many people have been working from home, taking off, you know. There was a hotel here in Dallas that made $31 million in the 1 month of games here in profit, you know, and that's their biggest thing, because all these people came, stayed at the hotel. It's got one of those lives attached to it where people went and watched the games. So it was a huge influx, you know, obviously to the economies of Kansas City, New York, Miami, all that kind of stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how soon will they be back here, because it was overall a very positive experience for the most part. I mean, I saw 2 fights that have taken place, like 2 major fights people put on social media. One was in Deep Ellum, which here, that's a shady part of town. And the other one was downtown Portland in Pioneer Square, which is a shady part of town. So not really surprising on those 2. Yeah.
No, but I mean, when we were traveling back through LA, they were like, don't be, you know, take public transportation on the 10th, because when they had the game last week. And it's like, first off, why do you want to be in LA?
Yeah.
Right, Joe?
Joe knows.
Yeah. Well, he said he's more than a pretty face.
Yeah. Pretty ugly, but
I didn't want to go there.
Why not? Joe's a good guy. He can take that. But yeah, it'll just be interesting, because now what does the world go back to? I mean, you know, all the fun loving of Ranch and Buc-ee's and everything else. It's just kind of fun to see. But
yeah, well, I mean, the positive thing was all the foreigners saw how great United States was, and not listening to the fact that how bad that they were told it is from their actual news and
Right.
our news and our media and everybody else. It's a great place. Stop listening to the news.
That was one of the best things Tim Ferriss ever put in the book, The 4-Hour Work Week. Years, I mean, talking 20 years ago, it was two things I really took away from that book. One was email batching, and that is don't check your email every 5 minutes. Like that, I did a talk about that. Might have been on here, might have been somewhere else. I can't remember. But I used to be in reactive mode because we were constantly yelled at my old job of, well, you got that email 5 minutes ago. Why didn't you answer it? But when you're so busy responding to everything, you can't be proactive. So you can either be reactive or proactive. Now, Joe's obviously automating everything. You've automated a lot of stuff to be proactive. But if people are only responding to the emails that come in, that's reactive. And that's like using, since we're talking about Joe and dealerships, we can wait for the people to come in, or you dial and call people, to try and get business coming in. But I used to be so bad. It would ding. Okay, what's wrong? Ding, what's wrong? So email batching was number one. And then it said, get rid of the news was number two. It said, if something is so important that you need to know about it, you'll see it on social media. I think back then it said on Facebook, because that was like the only one at the time.
Or your wife will tell you.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
I'm sorry. That hurt you. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, you're right in the heart. But yeah.
No, because she's like, the other day, she's like, told me something. She goes, you haven't seen this? I'm like, no, because I'm not on social media, and I'm not. I'll watch the morning show for my one show that I do at 8:30.
Yeah.
The daily show, so I see what's going on and the information. But I have Claude who creates my morning show now. I don't even do it. It does it. And I don't have to. But it's everything I talk about. But I used to spend 2.5 hours every morning listening and looking and everything to be ready for the show. And now I want certain things I want to know. And that's all I watch. And I don't even watch the other two shows I used to watch, which was The Five and Gunfield, because they're the same stuff. I don't need it anymore. I'm done. I don't need this thing over and over again, how bad everything is.
I did see that you're starting to, the team's starting to cut up videos of clips of aces. I saw that come out the other day. I thought, I wonder if Manoj is going to say anything.
Why?
Because that was one of the clips that they used. We were talking about what he used to be able to charge 5 figures for.
So what he went, right. But yeah, I gotcha. But they went back and grabbed all the jokers, all the good ones. They left Joe out, but all the good ones they got, and they're going to cut all those up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, when
there was, when they tried to cut up Joe's one,
yeah,
it put a little like, oh my God, you can't show this picture or something. I don't know what it meant by
most
that.
wanted.
Yeah, people are. It's going to offend
certain
people
from school.
Yeah, it's going to scare some kids. Don't put a claimer. Don't watch in front of children.
That's right. Well, we'll have to have him on soon, like I said, because he's really tinkering with a lot of stuff, and I know you guys would geek out over it more because you're more advanced on it than I am. Like, you both have sat through the Claude classes. Yeah, Joe, I was getting ready. Damn it, Joe, you stole my thunder.
Yeah, so does Lovable. Lovable
right.
now has MCP also, Joe.
Right. But I was getting ready to say, I got the email yesterday, Opus Clips is now going to have it. So you can just throw right in from ChatGPT, your Opus Clips. It can post everything for you. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what businesses survive that were like, hey, I know technology. So right now, a lot of people are like, well, I have a 20-something-year-old who does my social media for me because I don't really understand it. Now people of any age can basically go, okay, well, I want AI to do it for me.
Yeah, you don't need to understand it. You just need to watch a show or have someone do it for you and set it all up for you.
Right.
And that's and there's so many people out there teaching the same stuff. That's what we keep talking about. It's the same stuff. It's the new shiny penny this week that they're all trying to make pennies off of, or more than pennies. And that's what it is. It's what the new stuff is. This is what they're going for.
It's the new in-demand thing that people are willing to pay for.
Yeah.
So, all right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
Well, I mean, I had to wait 21 minutes.
I was gonna say it's my fault. I had technology issues, but I gotta jump to another meeting here in a minute.
Oh, so more important meetings than our people. I see how it is.
Yeah, Joe came in, and we got to really get off of here because of Joe. So,
all right, well, let us know. So take us out, will you? I know you brought us in, but
yeah. Everybody, thank you for joining Ed Parcaut and myself here on Aces 53. We're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. Sometimes it's just Ed and I. Sometimes it's either Ed or I. And sometimes we bring in a joker, which is a special guest. Hold on.
Hey, Joe, I don't want you to give it to me like you gave it to Brian.
Yes. And that's a special skill, a joker.
That would be a special skill that Joe has.
Anyway, I got to run. Thanks for being here, Ed. Thanks, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye, y'all.